There was a time when life in Nigeria used to be very simple and fun. In Owerri, a town in Imo State in the eastern part of Nigeria, there lived a young man called John Obikwe. John Obikwe was a jovial fellow who loved partying and having fun. He used to frequent all the fun spots and joints in the city. John Obikwe was tall, dark in complexion and very handsome with thick hair. All the girls wanted him. He used to play the guitar and he expertly plucked the heartstrings of many young women. John Obikwe had 3 brothers. He was the youngest of them all. The Nigerian Civil War began in the late 60s and life in Owerri was on the lowest edge. So John Obikwe and his brothers lived a low-key life, hiding many times to avoid forceful conscription by the Biafran army. The brutal civil war ended in 1970, leaving Owerri, the erstwhile capital of the short-lived Republic of Biafra, in ruins. The citizens started their lives all over again. By the stroke of luck, John Obikwe and his brothers discovered that their late father had left behind a big parcel of land in Port Harcourt. They held a meeting and decided to sell the land and share the money equally among the 4 of them. They signed the agreement. The land was sold, but unknown to John, his 3 elder brothers had resolved not to give him his share of the money. When John got a wind of their plan, he confronted them. They told him that he was too young to be given the money. They told him to wait till he turns 40 years. John was infuriated. He announced he was leaving the family. He told them he was no longer part of the family. They laughed and mocked him. John gathered his few possessions and sold them to raise money. He was left with only his guitar. John teamed up with a friend and traveled out of Nigeria. He relocated to Ghana, 15 Benyan Street off Yadi Layout, Accra. He changed his name. He was now called Eddie Quansa. He started doing odd jobs to raise money to feed. He began playing his guitar. He joined a high life band in Accra. In a few years' time, Eddie Quansa was a rich man in Ghana. He married a beautiful young lady named Mena Sapong, the girl with the chocolate skin and thick hips. Eddie Quansa became one of the prominent men in Accra. He was a rich merchant and a high life musician. His band was popular and played at many shows. News of Eddie Quansa's success reached his family in Owerri, Nigeria. His brothers sent emissaries to beg him for forgiveness, but Eddie had sworn not to have anything to do with them again. His brothers visited him, but they were chased out from his house. They returned to Nigeria and hatched a plan. They approached a new high-life band in Owerri called the Peacocks Guitar Band. They begged the band to write and record a song for their brother. After months of pressure, the band recorded the track. It was titled Eddie Quansa. And it became a hit track in Owerri and eastern Nigeria. The song was an appeal to Eddie Quansa to return home. Eddie Quansa heard the record but refused to return home. He even played the song during his shows. It was not long after then that the new masquerade show came on Nigerian television. Do you remember the drama series starring Chief Zebrudaya, Ovolaria, Giringori, Jegede, among others? The producers decided to use the Eddie Quansa track as their signature tune. The song became very popular throughout Nigeria because of the show, yet Eddie Quansa refused to return home. Have you seen Eddie Quansa? Some people say he is now dead and buried in Accra. Some say he is still alive but living in a secret location in India. Some say his ghost roams Owerri at night. They say if you step out of your house at midnight in Owerri and sing these lines, Eddie Quansa, biao, biao, the ghost of Eddie Quansa will appear in front of you. The ghost will take the form of a handsome young man with a long beard. The ghost will scream, Mba, I am not coming back. It will suddenly frown at you, baring its teeth, and then vanish. If you are in Owerri, do this tonight and get back to us. Have you seen Eddie Quansa? Here was a man who by this account was wronged and unfairly treated by his own brothers. He had every right to be furious and disappointed. It was also understandable for him to want to move away from those who caused him so much pain. It's only human. Yet, there is no justification for staying bitter forever or refusing to let go of hurt. The wise quickly realized, as Nelson Mandela aptly puts it, that bitterness is like holding a piece of burning coal in your hands and hoping that it hurts someone else. In other words, bitterness always hurts its host much more than those whose wrongful ways caused it in the first place. The story did not tell us what became of Eddie Quansa's brothers. It is safe, however, to assume that they did not amount to much, not with their wicked hearts. Eddie Quansa could have chosen, like Joseph in the Bible, to forgive his brothers who sold him into slavery. He could have realized that their jealousy and treachery were divine instruments for ushering him into purpose and stardom. If he had not left his hometown as he did, he might not have discovered the fortune waiting for him in a distant land. In a sense, his brothers were the vehicle for his eventual accomplishments. But Eddie Quansa chose to see things differently. He chose to die with a bitter heart. Do you think Eddie Quansa took the right step? Would you have returned home if you were in Eddie Quansa's shoes? What do you think was right for Eddie Quansa to have done in this situation? Kindly share your comments in the comment section. Let's learn. And please don't forget to subscribe to our channel for more beautiful and entertaining contents like this. This is our discovery for today. See you next time.